Today is June 21st. It is 7:21 a.m. Eastern, just before the market opens. I noticed that I hadn't done any videos for a little while talking about my account. And the reason for that is, if you can see from May when we last met, the market has basically been going up and going up significantly. So if you had a position in the market, you were doing quite well. So there was nothing really more that I could add to that. But it's been a month, so it's time to just go back to some things that I've been doing and what do I expect next. So this line represents QQQ. You can see that we've been in that uptrend, as I mentioned. This yellow line represents the 20-day exponential moving average, and I try to use that somewhat as a guideline. I think this November to April move is a good description of what I would like to see. You can see that the line goes up and then kind of bounces back to this green line, and then goes up and bounces back to the green line. We had a break here in April where we significantly cut through the green and the red line, but then we had a breakout again. So what I would like to see is for these two lines to meet. The question is, will this line continue up to meet the blue line around this area, or will the blue line come back down to meet the green line down in this area? We don't know for sure. There are no true catalysts happening right now. There are no interest rate meetings. The earnings are, for the most part, over until June, middle of June. So what exactly will happen in the future, we don't know, but the way that I manage it is by managing the percentages in my portfolio. So if we take a look here, you will see that if I go to the positions, all right, they've been doing nicely. So the UPRO here is about 69%, TQQQ is about 92%. This Bitcoin that I bought back in January is up 43%. You'll see that the TQQ is at 31%. So over the last week, this was up to about 37%, 38%. So I trimmed a little bit. I sold one or two of them to try to get it back down to under 35%. So my rule is, if it's over 35%, then I will be trimming to get it back down under 35%. If it's under 20% and the market is rising, what do I mean by the market is rising? I mean this condition whereby this blue line gets back over the green line and I'm under 20%, then I would consider buying more at that point in time. All right. So I trimmed a little bit. In addition, the next move really for the Federal Reserve is to cut the interest rates. So before, I had a lot of, basically all of my money in this MVRXX. All right, the 7-day yield on that right now is 5.21%. What I did was I took some of that money and I bought a long-term CD, a 1-year CD, 618 for 5.4%. Right. And this CD also is one of those CDs that pays monthly, so it doesn't pay out at maturity. It pays monthly. So that's why the interest rate is a little lower than most other CDs that you can get. But that's fine. I wanted to see the cash being distributed into my account. So those are some of the things that I did. One, I trimmed TQQQ down to under 35%. And two, I got a long-term CD to lock in these higher rates, because we know that the next move that the Federal Reserve is going to make is down. Okay. So how does that make my account look? If we take a look at performance, I focus mostly on the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. So this is what it looks like year to date. So I am up a little bit, and this is because of really the trimming. So you can see that, Nasdaq 100 has gone down a little bit, but I sold some of it to trim it around here, sometime around there. So when this went down, my account didn't go down with it. If this keeps happening though, my account will go down a little further. It might look something like this, but I am still holding a lot of cash. So eventually when it bounces back, it will rise faster. And if it doesn't, the cash that I have on hand should be generating some income on me for me until this happens again. So that is kind of where we're at. That's an update on my account. We'll see if anything else major happens in the next upcoming weeks, but I hadn't done this in a while, so I figured it was time for me to do a new recording. Okay, so thank you and have a great weekend.